Hey, you guys, Josh Sati out here in Singapore, and I'm back again with another one of these breakdowns from Create the Love's latest post. So he was talking about how you avoid your own healing when, and then he has a bullet list of things that we do that sometimes avoid our own healing. We talked about dating projects. We talked about taking responsibility for other people's feelings. We talked about obsessing over how the other person's shit and how they fucked you over and how it hurts your feelings and stuff like that. And the next one I'm going to talk about, how you read book after book but never actually change. And guess what? Guilty as charged, you guys. I love my library. I love all the things that I've hoarded and accumulated, and I love to read. I love new ideas, but sometimes I don't implement. I am guilty, you guys. I don't implement, and I should, because honestly, that's where the real change comes. I could know all the theories in the entire universe, but until I actually do something about it, put it into action in my life, test the theory, see if it works for me, it's nothing but just extra information. That's it. It's like piles and piles of paper, but unless you actually go through the paper, figure out how it fits into your life, you're just going to have a dusty pile of paper in a corner. So, honestly speaking, this is the problem I have with so many people out there who are trying their best to teach other people. Now, you can teach from a book, that's fine, but unless you understand the applications, you won't be able to help people maneuver through the mistakes they will inevitably make as they try to implement in their own lives. So let's talk about mental health, shall we? There is CBT. There is NLP. There are so many different variations of how to work through your mental health issues that it's not even funny. Honestly, you could go back to Carl Jung, you could go to Nietzsche, you could go to Freud. I mean, the list is long as hell. For every problem on the face of the planet, there is a book somewhere with the solution and somebody else's point of view on it. So it's not for a lack of solutions in the world. It's a matter of, can you actually apply what the hell you just read? I'm pretty sure the majority of you know what Rich Dad Poor Dad is. But how many of you are actually financially savvy? Yeah, ugly, I know. But how many of you are actually financially savvy? So let's talk about that for a second. I could have all the information in the world, but until I put it into practice in my own life, it doesn't matter. I could tell you that I have the certificate for my psychology degree and my master's degree and my, human resources professional management certification, all of that. That's great. But unless I tried those strategies that I learned in school in my own life, what does that paper mean? Really? I can have all kinds of certificates on my wall. I could print out my own certificates if I wanted to. But what does it mean? Now, I believe that there is a lot you can glean from somebody by the way they speak. And I'm not saying I am so full of wisdom, but I've tried a couple of things, and a lot of them didn't work. And I know at the core, I had to understand the person in front of me, and I had to understand myself. Without this human relationships 101, people skills 101, I will not get anywhere in life. Because let's face it, right now, we're lucky. It's still all human interaction. It's not AI yet, right? It's not all logic yet. There's still lots of emotion we need to dig through. So I think it's really important that we actually understand the fact that we can read all the books in the world, but we still don't change stuff. And that's where we don't actually heal. I need a solution. I'm really bad with money. How do I manage money? So I go and get books like, oh goodness, I have so many books now. So Rich Dad Poor Dad is one of them. Ken Honda's Happy Money EQ, something about that. I loved it. And I took the masterclass from Mind Valley. But guess what? I have not sat down to implement it in my life yet. Why? Because I'm kind of scared. I don't want to deal with money. I really don't like it. I avoid it at all costs. I use it because I have no choice but to use it. But I am not sure that it will actually change my life, and I'm not ready to try it either. Now, there is another book that I tried once, and it really did change the way I do everything. The book is The Slight Edge, and it's about time management. And at the time, I couldn't figure out for the life of me why Beyonce has 24 hours and I have 24 hours, but she accomplishes so much more in her life than I could even dream to imagine. That's terrible. Gary Vee, how the hell does he do so much in a day and he has the same amount of time that I do? Why? Because he's good at managing his money. He realizes, and this is something that I really, really learned and implemented, that it takes the same amount of effort to think about something and not do it as it does to think about it and do it. That's it. The same amount of energy. For the amount of time that I took to research the right gym set workout or whatever, I could have gotten up and done it. And yeah, I could find things that doesn't need gym equipment or weights. I could do, calisthenics or body weight kind of exercises around the house and it would still work. But no, we'd rather scroll and we'd rather put it off till later because why would we do it now? And then get upset because we didn't accomplish anything. And we feel like crap because we're right where we started when we got up in the morning but we still feel bad because that milestone that we want to look at is way down the road. I can't even see what the next step looks like. So, as much as I would love to read and read and read, it's hard for me, but I'm working on it, implementing what I read, trying to figure out if what I'm reading actually works in my life or not. There's some things that won't work in my life, right? There's some things that have nothing to do with my life at all because my life is not the way the author wrote based on his life or his experience. So I'm saying, if you're going to take the time to actually read and try to solve problems for yourself, it's totally worth it to try and implement at the same time. And I would recommend implementing at the same time as you're reading the book, mostly because the likelihood of you doing it after you close the book is slim to none. Once you close the book and put it back on the shelf, you're probably not going to revisit those ideas again, unless, of course, it's in the course of conversation. You're like, oh, yeah, I heard about that, and I think da-da-da-da, but I'm not doing it. I'm just a pro with a certificate and the knowledge, just not the experience to back it up. So, unfortunately, to focus on the solution, to dig for the answer, is not the same as working on yourself. Ideally, healing means you're dealing with your own bad habits, your own comfort zone. You're battling your thoughts, your beliefs, the things that fit but you're not ready to let go of yet, the things that hurt you but you're not ready to get rid of yet. That's what healing is. And a lot of us, the idea of putting all that attention on ourselves feels uncomfortable. I don't want to look at me and see, oh my gosh, I'm wrong. I already see it when I look in the mirror, when I look at my physical attributes, but that's also another part of healing that I need to work on. Why do I see myself that way? Where did that come from? Who told me? Who's the first person who told me that this was not okay? You know what I'm saying? So, by all means, search for answers. By all means, read as much as you can. But please, while you're reading, take notes. Move things around in your life. Work on it as you're learning. Because when you work on it as you're learning, you're more likely to stick to the habit or really make some effective changes in your life. Now, if you got any questions or concerns, please drop them in the comments below. But in the meantime, you know what I'm talking about. You really want to change? The only person who can is you. Yeah, of course, you're reading somebody else's ideas, and it worked for them, but could it work for you? You won't know until you try. So why not try? At the least, you could eliminate another way that doesn't work for you. At the most, you learn along the way why it might not have worked for you, and maybe you find a way that no one's written about yet. Why not, right? It's worth the risk. All right, y'all. I'll catch you later. Bye.